Hi everyone, this is Mohi from Singapore Maths Academy. Welcome back to another one of our 11 plus maths mastery videos. This is a video for the 11 plus journey, which is a fantastic Facebook group and community. So if you haven't already signed up to those groups, then please make sure you go to the 11 plus journey group on Facebook. And also their website actually is fantastic because they support parents like you on the 11 plus journey, not just for maths, but for English and NBR as well. So today's session is, again, me going through a fractions problem. But in this video, we're going to have a slightly different way of looking at it. Okay, we're going to look at it using two different strategies. So I want to show you the difference between, I suppose, us as a maths tuition company and compared to other companies. What is it that's so different? Why is it that we are called Singapore Maths Academy, strangely, in London, right? And that's because Singapore are leading the world in maths education and have been so for about 30 years now, which is a long time to lead the world on anything. And so our first strategy, method one, is going to look at the standard strategy that we will go through, but also probably most companies and tutors around for this question. So it says a boy spent 3/8 of his allowance and put half the remainder in the bank. Now, even though we might use the same strategy, the way we convey this strategy and the way we convey the solution to this problem is really important. And so we ask those questions that are really there to support your child and to understand the problem. So first question would be something like, well, if the boy spent 3/8 of his allowance, how much of his allowance is left? 5/8, right? So the first part of the strategy, 1 take away 3/8, which is 5/8. Great. So we've got 5/8 remaining, and we know that he's going to spend half of the remainder and put it in the bank. So how do I do that? It's 5/8 of his allowance divided by 2, right? Half divided by 2. And so what we could do is 5/8 times the reciprocal of 2, which is a half, and therefore 5 times 1 is 5, 8 times 2 is 16. We could do that, and that's okay if our children understand what's happening there. But we could also say, well, 5/8 is challenging to divide by 2 because we've got 5 as the numerator. How can I make the numerator something else whilst keeping it 5/8, but also being able to divide by 2 more easily? We can find an equivalent fraction, which would be 10/16. 10/16 divided by 2, it's much more simpler, right? 10 cars divided by 2 is 5 cars. 10/16 divided by 2 is 5/16. So now I can see that 5/16 went to the bank, and 5/16 also is equal to the part that's left. He then had £15 left. So 5/16 is equal to £15, and therefore the rest of this is what? What does that mean? 5/16 is equal to £15. What do I do after that? Can I work out what 1/16 is? Is that possible, class? 1/16 must be £15 divided by 5. And that means 1/16 is £3. So every 16th is £3. I know that he had 8/8, right? The whole 1/16. I need to work out what 16/16 is equal to, which is going to be £3 times 16, which is £48. So he had £48 to begin with. We can check our work. That's our final answer. We can check if that's right or wrong. How do I do that? Well, I know he spent 3/8. 3/8 of £48 is £18. So he had 5/8 left, which is £30 left. Half of £30 went to the bank, which is great, and half of it, which is £15, is left, and therefore we've got £15 left. So yeah, it worked out perfectly, just like we wanted it to, right? So that's our answer. £48 is how much he had at the beginning. So that's a common strategy that we would use. I would hope our tutors and myself, if I'm teaching this this specific question, we would explain this in a systematic way. But again, the key focus is on understanding. Without understanding, it's really challenging for a child to take that on board and then use it again on a similar question in the future. It's virtually impossible. So if we rely just on memorization, this is what we've got to do first, then second, then third, then fourth, then fifth. That's not going to be great for those students, most students, okay? It's the understanding that's going to elevate them to be able to solve more challenging problems. So let's look at method. I wrote method 2 here. I don't know why, but it should be method 1. We're going to write method 1 now instead, when we work backwards. Method 1. Probably because method 1 is what we would possibly, method 1 will be what we'd possibly use for this question. And this is where we're showing you the difference between us as a tuition company and most other tuition companies. Now, I am a tutor for the Singapore Maths Academy as a founder, but also I have another company which focuses on training teachers all around the world on a specific strategy and other strategies as well, called the bar modeling approach. And so this is an approach, this strategy is really helpful for problem solving as well as understanding maths for different topics. And so with this question, I'm going to take you through it using the bar model approach, which is our second method. And in this method, we're going to actually get to see why it's so powerful. So it says here, a boy spent 3/8 of his allowance. Can we show that using bars? Is that possible? Well, I'm going to try. Here's my bar. And I'm going to split that into eighths. That's about half. These are my quarters. And now I can split them into eighths. Perfect. These are my eighths. And I know the boy spends 3/8. So that's my 3/8. And so if he spent the 3/8, then how much has he got left? He's got 5/8 left. Great. So from what he's got left, the remainder, what do we need to do? We need to think about halving the remainder. Now, this is a bit more challenging, right? I've got 5 equal parts and I need to halve those 5 parts. How do I do that? Well, I can maybe halve all of these parts so that I don't have different size parts, different fractions. And now I've got not 5 equal parts, I've got 10 equal parts. Can you see where the 10 came from? 10/16. I've got 16 parts altogether now. And I've got 10 equal parts, and I know 5 of those, right? That's about 5, I think. I know 5 of those were given to the bank. Okay, so I'm going to show that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's about right. There you are. That's given to the bank. And so I've colored that in, and which I don't need to, but just for your satisfaction, clarity for you, that's gone to the bank. And I know I've got 5/16 left. And I also know it says in the question, I've got £15 left. What does that mean for each part now? Each part must be £3, right? That's £3, that's £3, 3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah, it works. £15, 5 equal parts, £3 each, £15, right? And so the question is, how much did he have at the beginning? So all of this, these are 16 lots of £3, which is equal to £48. So again, visually, this makes a lot more sense for those children that first might struggle with this question, but secondly, even those high flyers, this would be a more efficient method to solve this problem, because you can see it hasn't taken me a huge amount of time. Even explaining so much to you, it hasn't taken me a huge amount of time. This would be quicker than going through these steps here, which is still efficient, but this is the most efficient method for this question. And so part of our job at Singapore Maths Academy, especially for 11 plus, is to make sure we are training our students and pupils into making the right decisions most of the times in terms of efficiency. And so this is part of our job, and we absolutely love to do it, because it means that our children are actually gaining a better understanding of the problem and future problems as well. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you like this post and also this video, and our YouTube page would be great as well. And if you have anything to say, please make sure you give us your feedback. We would love to hear from you and also support you and your child in the future. If you're looking for maths tuition, then feel free to contact us. We would love to support you. If you're a teacher and you want some CPD, then also contact us and we'd be happy to pass you on to our teacher training company as well. Thank you so much for your help, and thank you for watching this video, and we would love to see you in our next video. Take care, everyone. Bye.